Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
500 years and being fundamentally different to the humans of the time, I think it will be very scary. And also, I don't know, there's probably some other philosophical things about it. I actually went this morning to put some flowers on a grave of a young lady called Annalise. Now, I wrote, you may or may not remember, one of my songs.
I know.
Called Annalise.
Annalise, yes.
Yeah, she was a very dear friend.
Yeah.
And sadly, it's a sad story, and I don't want to get too sad on this, obviously, but we went there and we said that in the graveyard, in the cemetery there was a real sense of peace and calm, and the sense of, it was sobering in a good way to actually feel. And you read a lot of the gravestones and so on.
Yeah.
Some of it was sad, one little boy who was born asleep, as they put it, and it's sobering. But I think there was also that great sense of peace and calm, which I think probably everybody hopes that's how it will be, whatever comes next. If anything comes next, it will be peaceful and calming. I don't like the idea of being in some sort of midway point, of being frozen. Right. You may call it a sense of being in purgatory or whatever, but I wouldn't like to think I would be kind of artificially maintained.
Right.
There was a story in the paper the other day about a famous saint woman. I can't remember her name, but she's very well known. And her body has recently been, I don't know whether they've moved it from a coffin or whatever, but she wasn't in any way preserved, but her body was completely preserved perfectly. And I forget when she was buried originally. It's 200 or 300 years ago. So they were saying this is some sort of miracle. So that was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
But it does happen. I know that can happen. I've seen the body of St. Bernadette's, who had the apparitions in Lourdes in 1858. I think the first ones were. And great story. I went to Lourdes to look at it a few years ago, to look at the chapel and so on.
Yeah.
And her body is actually in an open coffin in another place. I think it might be Nevers, but I can't quite remember where that was. But we went there as well. And it is kind of, it makes you sit up. You're looking at her. Perfect. Her body was perfectly preserved. I mean, they meant to preserve it with whatever materials they used. But to see this woman who had these incredible apparitions of the Virgin Mary in the south of France in the 19th century, it was quite incredible. So I mean, I've gone a bit of a tangent here, but I wouldn't want to mess with nature, with anything like that. And I think the only reason I could see for cryogenics being useful is if, when they eventually travel to Mars, which may not be that far away, it could be 10 years.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.